Today I'll be talking about Mockingjay Part 2. I saw the movie today and it was so emotional. I was crying the entire time. It was so sad. Just all the deaths and just everything that happened, and the fact that this is the last movie and Hunger Games is over forever. It was so sad. Hunger Games just meant the world to me, and it brought me so much closer to a lot of my friends. I owe so much to Hunger Games. It'll always have a special place in my heart, and watching the last movie was really hard. I read the entire series in like a week a few years ago, so I didn't remember every single detail and everything that happened in Mockingjay, so I can't really say if the movie was fairly accurate. The few things I do remember from Mockingjay, I did see them in the movie, so I think this movie was pretty accurate. No book to movie adaptation can be 100% accurate, but I think they did really well with this one. People are gonna hate me for this, but I think in some cases, the movies are better than the book. The way the story is told in movies is through an omniscient narrator, where you see everything that is happening. You see what Snow is doing behind the scenes, you see what's happening in other districts, but in the books, you don't see that. You only see what Katniss sees, and I really love that. I think the way the story is told in the movies is a better way to tell the story of Panem, in my opinion. There were some scenes in the movie that were so intense. I was so scared, and I was at the edge of my seat like, what's gonna happen? Well, I mean, I know what's gonna happen, but like, I was just really scared. It was so intense. The movie just made me an emotional wreck. I was bawling my eyes out the entire time. There were so few moments when I wasn't crying. And towards the end of the movie, I was like trying to dry my tears, and it took like a few minutes because I had been crying so much. Well, that's all I could say without spoiling the book or movie. So if you have not read the book or movie, please leave now. So goodbye now, spoiler people. Goodbye. Bye. So the movie starts out that Katniss is recovering from Peeta's attack. The scenes where Katniss and Peeta interacted in the beginning were just so painful to watch. Peeta's brain was all hijacked, and he was like, Katniss is evil, she's trying to kill us all. And then you could see Katniss's love for Peeta growing. His mind was deteriorating, and he was trying to attack her and kill her. It was just so painful to see. It was just so sad. When Katniss goes to District 2, and then there's this guy that's trying to kill her, that speech she gives was like so amazing. So how she was talking about the Capitol and Snow, how she was a slave to it all, not only to Snow, but also to the rebellion, and how she was just like, oh yeah, just kill me, just put me out of my misery. That was so raw and real, and I really liked that. And holy crap, Jennifer Lawrence is such a good actress. Like, even when she wasn't acting, when she was just having a facial expression, she conveyed so much in her face. She's just a phenomenal actress, and she's amazing as Katniss. I don't think I could have ever seen anybody else play Katniss as well as she does. Finnick's and Annie's wedding was so adorable, but I started crying knowing what was in store for Finnick in the future. Joanna is also kind of insane in this movie, and I feel really bad for her because she doesn't really have anything left in the world. The Capitol took everything from her, including her sanity, and it's just so sad to see. I also wasn't sure if that scene where Katniss was talking to Boggs about President Coin, if that was in the book, but I really did like that scene. It really helped explain more of Coin's actions, and for people who had not read the book, that helped them understand things better. And like, what the heck was that black oil? I'm like 95% sure that was not in the book. So like, what the heck? I don't even know if it was oil. They said it was oil, but I don't even know what it was, because like when Peeta threw that person in the oil and then they came out and the person was like suspended in the air covered in oil, oh my god, that was so terrifying. I'm like, what is this? And I read online that they described it as like black ooze. I'm like, yeah, that still doesn't answer what my question as to what it is, but oh well. And I like how in this movie they thought the whole squad was dead like 3 times. Like, what? They're not dead. when they take refuge in this house and then they see the report and then it says that they all died and it shows all their deaths the way it would show deaths in the arena. I was like, what the heck? This is not the arena anymore. Why would they do that? Was that like a joke to the victors? But like all the people in the squad weren't victors, only like a few of them. So that makes no sense why they would do that, unless that's just the way they always show dead people in the Capitol. But that's just really messed up. I love the part when Coin hijacks the feed and then she's like, oh, we must honor their sacrifices because she thinks they're dead. And then Katniss is like, so all sarcastically, wow, I didn't think she cared so much about me. And the mutts that killed Finnick were so freaking creepy. Like, they looked like ghosts. They didn't have any eyes. They were super white. They had like claws. Oh my god, they were so scary. And then after that, when they took refuge in this store, the tigress lady really freaked me out. Like, her makeup was like insane. And she seriously looked like a cat. Prim's death was just so heartbreaking. And it was also kind of confusing because like Katniss walks up and she's like, Prim! And then like explosions come and then she just passes out, and it kind of seems like both of them die or something because we don't actually see Prim like getting blown up or like the bomb like hitting her or anything. We just see her and then Katniss blacks out. It seems like both of them die. Instead, just Prim dies and she passes out. And I really love the part after that when she goes and confronts Snow, and Snow is like, you were watching my moves, I was watching your moves. Well, all along Coin was playing both of us against each other. Then when Gale came to visit and she asked him about the bombs, and he didn't deny that he helped make them, and then she just looked at him with these really intense facial expressions and was like, goodbye, Gale. And you could tell in her voice that it was final. Just like, holy crap, Jennifer Lawrence, just like, oh my god, she's such a good actress. Just by her facial expressions, just by looking at Gale, you could tell like everything she was feeling, everything she meant towards him, and everything that she wanted to say to him. Wow, she's so talented. One of the parts for Mockingjay that always stuck with me when I read the book was the part where all the victors were sitting around in the table and Coin asked them to vote whether to do a Hunger Games for the Capitol children. And what really stuck with me was that all the victors were sitting there and it was only like 5 or 6 people. And it's just so sad how many victors had died and just how many people had died in general. All the people that were still alive that were victors because all sit in one small table was so sad. In the beginning of Catching Fire, there was still so many victors alive, but then after the games and then after the rebellion and after everything, there were less than 10 victors still alive. When I read Coin's death in the book, I was super confused. I was like, wait, why did she kill Coin? Doesn't she hate Snow? And then after I thought about it for a little bit, it made sense. But what I really liked about the movie is that they built up her wanting to kill Coin. Little by little, they would put little hints of her saying like, oh, she doesn't like Coin. And during the voting, she realized what Coin was really after, and it kind of made me mad how like Snow was killed by an angry mob. I thought his death was like really interesting in the book, how he ended up like coughing and laughing to death. I thought that was really interesting. And then in the movie, after she killed Coin, he started laughing and coughing, got surrounded by an angry mob, and then they killed him. And I'm like, oh, why couldn't it just kept it the original way? I thought that way was way cooler and better. Okay, I know it's a death, but like, I don't know, it was just really interesting. I mean, how often do you see somebody laughing to death? Like, that's so rare. Like, why couldn't they have kept that? Haymitch was so funny in that scene when he came with that letter from Luthor to show to Katniss. He was like, oh my god, you always make it so hard, Katniss. Like, work with me here. It was so funny. I love Haymitch. When Katniss goes back to District 12, that Buttercup scene really scared me. Like, she was acting like a rabid animal and channeling all her grief into this violent act against the cat. And then I really love how, like, even though she, like, threw stuff at it and was like, get out, get out, she ended up just grabbing the cat and just, like, crying and, like, cuddling with it. I was like, oh, in the end, Katniss did love the cat. The second to last scene when Katniss finally admitted her love to Peeta and he asked her, you love me, real or not real? I started crying. It was just so cute. And then the very last scene, the epilogue, was just, oh my god, that's like one of the best scenes. in the whole series. It was just so cute. Just watching Peeta just play with his children, and then Katniss looking at Peeta with so much love in her eyes, and them being all happy in the valley having a picnic after all they've been through. That was just such an amazing scene, and I really love that. And I love how like the very last line she spoke in the movie was actually the last line of the book in all. I swear it was word for word what the last line was in the book. So that was really cool. The movie was just so good, but it was so sad. Just everything that happened and just saying goodbye to this amazing trilogy that had been such a big part of my life for so long. It was just such an emotional time. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up and comment below what you thought about Mockingjay Part 2. Let's continue the discussion in the comments. Oh!